Good evening and happy Sunday night, my beloved Casa de Jujuites. How are y'all? Hope y'all had a wonderful weekend. Hope you had a great Sunday as you ease into the wind down. And of course, it's nighttime, so of course, it's time for story time. Because what better way to tuck you in, especially with all these storms and all this wild weather we're having? I almost didn't do this video because I was like, I want to be doing a video and then have the winds come by, but praise to the spirits and the ancestors. We're gonna be all right, but we sending good juju to all of our friends that are in the way of these storms and good love and protection. Y'all, like Ryan Hall says, and if you're not watching Ryan Hall, y'all, or and the weather with him, 'cause he's an amazing weather guy. That's our weather guy. You should stay in contact with him, and big shout outs to him and thank you, because his insights keep us safe down where we're at in the beloved in Mississippi. So thanks to him, and go check him out. Give him a like, give him a share, give him a subscribe, give him all that stuff too. And us too, because I am, for those that don't know and for those that do, let's do it again. I am Papa Rose, your favorite Papatillo, not Tapatillo, but just as spicy as the sauce. And it is Sunday night, so it's story time with Papa Night. And if you haven't already, found out, we are here. This is the YouTube channel for La Casa de Juju, your online store for Juju products, mesoteric blends, mystic jewelry, divination, and mentorships. So if you're into all of that, let us know and keep coming with us. And this is where we talk about not just our products and our store and the offerings we have, but also stories and subjects of the esoteric, of the spiritual, of the mystical, of the magical, of just a day in the life of a brujo down here in the backwoods. Because I am the original, along with Jeffy, Unka Jeffy, the backwoods brujo that run Casa de Juju. So that said, please don't forget to give us a like, give us a subscribe, get into the comments, talk all the stuff, share us like Tic Tacs, and please hit the notification bell so that you get updated on new videos that are going to be coming up shortly too. Now let's jump into the jump in. Y'all, before I get into the stories and get into the history, can we talk about Sinners for a minute? Because you know how I feel. Baby, when I first saw Sinners, I went to go see that movie. I was with my beloved Mrs. B, and she knows who she is, but that's my lady. We went there, and it was like, that's one of my mamas, it's one of my ladies that take care of us, our big auntie, and we went to go to the movies with her, and now she's a woman in her, how can we say, madurez, maturity, and she was going there and she was having the experience. I was having the experience. Jeffy was having the experience. We were literally crying because even through the horrific parts of them, it was still cinematographically beautiful. It was so lush. And baby, we were awash. I was feeling it. I was like, me montó el muerto right here. And if you know what that means, you know what that means. That spirit was on me, baby. It was beautiful. And you know what scene I'm talking about. But they have been winning some loveliness because tonight's also the Oscars and they've been snagging up Oscars left and right, and I'm like, yes, get it. So I'm proud of that, and I'm proud of these narratives. I'm proud of this black excellence that we have, and it's beautiful because yes, hoodoo is black. Shocking. ATRs, African traditional religions, is practiced here. ADRs, Afro diasporic religions, is practiced through here and through the Caribbean. So yeah. That said, I'm happy. And listening to your Uncle Jeffy, he said, yo, the story tonight should be a story of the Ibeyi. And who are the Ibeyi, you might ask? I'm glad you asked that question. The Ibeyi are the Yoruba twin divinities of innocence, of power, of duality, of strength. They are the children of the Orisha Shango, the Lord of lightning, fire, thunder, and divine masculinity, and Oshun, the river queen of sweet waters, civilization, love, and happiness, what makes life worth living. So, of course, these two titanic Orishas came together, and their children are the Ibeyi, the divine twins of divine birth, the indulgent children of heaven. They are the most beautiful, mischievous, but spoiled children, because we spoil them because they are the symbols of innocence, but they're also symbols of duality, and their energy goes back even farther than just the stories. There is always a duality, a divine balance between all. That yin-yang energy is amorphosized into these divine twins. They're considered babies, or they're considered young children, and they are the protectors thereof. So it's especially good right now to talk to the twins. And if you happen to be a twin, then you have that energy with you already. My sister, in fact, my sister and my brothers were twins, or are twins, but unfortunately, their twin passed into the realm of the ancestors. So what do? We have a little doll. Yeah, I know, this is where people get crazy, but it's an actual, like, doll that is considered the earthly reflection for that spirit. Because twins are unified. They're together on a whole different level. Look at SmokeStack and Sinners. They complement each other, play off each other, and have their own almost mental, emotional, and spiritual language with each other. Throughout the world, twins are considered either sacred or they run from them in fear. But all twins have power. In Haiti, they are known as the Marasa. They are the divine twins there as well. And even there are Marasatwa, where there are the divine triplets. But that's another story for another time. Let's move back over here to Cuba. And from Yoruba land to Cuba to here, and even in New Orleans, baby, where we talk of the beautiful Ibeyi, the wonderful Ibejis. They bring good luck, good fortune, blessings, happiness, and just sometimes the ability to play, because sometimes we forget about that. We are in our human life, we're in our life of adulthood, and we forget all about playing and enjoying and just living your life and being happy for what you got. The Ibeyi remind us and bring blessings, and their fathers are their father is Shango, their mother is Oshun. So of course, people propitiate them to receive extra blessings. Who's going to deny their kid? Come on now. So they are also considered lifesavers. These twins bring divine blessings and miracles. They are the miraculous twins. So therefore, many people will talk to them and propitiate them for miracles of health, of healing, and sometimes when you have a bind. So people that know will go and ask people, priests or initiates or those who work with them, to please talk to the Ibeyi for them. Or if they're initiated, they'll go and do work with the Ibejis if they have the Ibeyi initiation, and work with them, because these kids are wonderful. But you don't have to necessarily be initiated to work with these energies. If you have twins in your family, or you are a twin, that energy kind of comes with you. It may not be the Ibeyi, but it is that twin energy, that dual energy of male, female, yin, yang, and the flow between the two, because there's a grade between the two, and we'll get to that later on. But right now I want to focus right here. Another thing I love about the Ibeyi is every year for Halloween, I do something for the Ibeyi, because I go back to the whole trick or treat. The innocence of trick or treating, the innocence of going and enjoying being spooky and happy and just enjoying that kid side of it. So back when the kids used to come and knock before the troubles and the pandemic, we used to have trick or treaters come, or they do like a trunk or treat. I would, by my door, have a little shrine for the Ibeyi up, where there was a bowl of candy. They had their candy, and the kids would come and take candy from the bowl, and it was a whole thing to honor that spirit, that energy of innocence, happiness, and joy, and just that pure children love. Now, children can also be, because they don't have guile. They don't know what lies are just yet. So they tell the truth, and sometimes that be hurting. But it's that very truth, it's that understanding, that being able to see things as they are, that gives them the most leverage and power, because they cut through the BS. Because kids be telling you truth, don't they? But I say all this to say, and in the Catholic Church, since we had to hide in the church sometimes, we would use the images of Saint Cosmas and Damien, the divine healer twins, to represent the Ibejis. And if you have that, or images of twins, you can do that as well, calling their blessings, if this is in your path. If you have people that worked with Yoruba, or you have ties to, go through it. But of course, I'm always going to tell you, go to a diviner, sit down with somebody who is initiated, sit down with someone and speak to them before you go willy-nilly finding different spirits. But I like to talk about the Ibeyi all the time, because they've helped me out of many a problem. And speaking of which, let me tell you a tale I got told by my godfather long, long ago. I heard it from my mom too, and even from my aunties. And they all told me the same. Now, most stories, when they tell you usually starts with once upon a time. But I always start mine the way I was told. Let's abide with the elders and the ancestors tonight. And let me tell you a tale. Long ago, the Ibeyi were allowed to just go to different places, because they were under such protection and love that they would go wandering and going on little adventures. Well, one day, there was a town that was assaulted by this big old monster demon that was always trying to get through the walls of the city and try and take people. And he said, if anyone comes by this road that comes in and out of the city, I'll eat them. There was only one road coming in and out. So, because nobody wanted to get eaten, and nobody wanted to deal with that demon. Nobody would leave, but then nobody would come either. So little by little, the town was, of course, going through it, of course, going through problems. And little by little, the food stores were running out. And sooner or later, somebody had to do something. And that monster was waiting outside, just waiting. Well, the townspeople got together and made sacrifice. They put the last bit of foods they had and asked to all the Orisha, especially the Ibeji, for help. And the Ibeji arrived. And they said, "What happens to be the problem? What's wrong, my people? Speak, and we will go and be messengers for you, for our mother and father to help you." And they explained their problem. The Ibeji said, The twins looked at each other with a mischievous smile and said, "I don't think we have to call our parents for this one, but we will help you. Give us a little time to get things together. But we want you to do this." They told them the plan. Well, one of the people from the town got on the wall and looked, and there was the monster demon ready to get them. And he said, "Ha ha, come down, come down. Sooner or later, I'm going to get you." And the person said, "Don't you worry, because we have somebody that's going to come against you and that's going to beat you and best you." And the demon said, "I'd like to see them try." And he kept that demon all occupied, talking mad smack. And then the Ibeji were able to come out of the town. Well, there was Taiwo, the male of the two. And he said, "Hey, demon, are you messing with these people? Are you here doing all this stuff?" And the demon said, "Yes, I am, and you're going to be the first one I eat today." And Taiwo looked and said, "You think so? But you know what? You could probably eat me, you probably could, but I bet you couldn't best me in a drum battle." And the demon stopped, because we all know demons are unbelievably and famously arrogant. Arrogant and full of hubris, as if they know all, see all, do all, and can all. And he said, "Little boy, what do you know about drums?" And the little boy smiled, and Taiwo said, "I know a lot about drums. My daddy is Shango. And I bet you right now I can beat you in drumming. And I can go longer and do more." The demon let back his head and had a roar of laughter, saying, "Is that correct? Well, you know what? I'll take you up on your bet. But how about this? If I win, I eat you. If you win, you can have whatever you want. But I'm not leaving. We're just finding out who's a better drummer." And Taiwo said, "Fine with me. So let's start. I hear a lot of talking and I don't hear a lot of drumming. Or are you too scared?" Ooh, the demon chafed under this one. Ooh, he's like, I'm going to enjoy eating him, but first I'm going to humiliate him. Because he saw out of the corner of his eye that the people of the town started building up on the wall. And they were all like, demon all scared. You know how we do. And this demon was already chafed, so he's getting a little more chafed. And it made him even more angry. But anger and arrogance aren't a good mix. Anger and hubris never got anything together. But that demon was sure that he could outplay the little Ibeji. And the boy sat with his drum and said, "Let's go." And the drum started. Alosi, the demon, pulled his drum out and said, "Let's," and started to drum. It was the most fantastic, if it wasn't so terrifying, drumming anyone ever heard. The demon's was full and rich and fiery and passionate, and everything that has to do with the age and earth. But the drumming that came from Taiwo spoke of innocence, of newness, of birth, and it also spoke of the beginnings of time itself. The drum beat spoke more than anything, showing time and rending the very fabric of nature around them. One day passed. The drums never stopped. 2 days passed. 2 days passed. The drums didn't stop. Even more complex was the drumming, even more intricate. On the 3rd day, the demon was like, "This kid might just don't have, he has unlimited energy. And I'm feeling a little tired, but nah, I'm going to continue. On the fourth day, without any stopping, neither day or night, and Taiwo, without breaking a sweat, playing his drums, warping time, sending colors, beauty, and strength. The lightning and fire of his father, the sweet rivers of his mother, the sweetness and power of creation and destruction and rebirth, the knowledge of within each seed lies truth, and within each tree lies seeds. So many things with fresh eyes. The demon couldn't keep up. He was tired and he couldn't think of anything. His mind wasn't straight. He wasn't getting no rest. So finally he got up and he threw his drum on the ground and said, "Well, you win. What do you want?" And the Ibeyi put his drum down. Taiwo looked at him and said, "You said if you win, you would eat me." "Well, my dear one, since I won, I can have anything I want except you leaving here because I told you to. So then I'm going to have to eat you. Because if you can't eat me, I'm going to eat you now. And do you know how creepy children can be when they smile?" And that smile went from ear to ear, and the fires played in his eyes, and the smile that said, "I am even older than you imagine," lit up his whole face. The demon shifted, saying, "Who is this?" And said, "Nah, you know what? You're gonna eat me." And Taiwo pulled out a little knife and a little fork and said, "Right now." And that demon turned tail so quick he left a shadow behind. He said, "No, I can't deal with this. Wherever you are, I won't be." And to this day, wherever the Ibejis are, you don't see any demons because they like to talk and gossip run fast. The town was overjoyed to see the demon go, and commerce came back again. Happiness came back again. Life and civilization came back again, and people could breathe easy. They made great sacrifices and offerings to the Ibeji and gave them myriad of thanks. And they asked Taiwo, "However did you do it?" And from behind the bush that Taiwo was sitting at came Kainde, his sister, dressed exactly like him. Every time the demon would droop, they would switch. It's the fun part about being twins. And innocence sometimes trips up trickery by just being itself. At least that's how I heard the story. Have you heard this one before? And if you did, how did you hear it? Let me know in the comments below. This story always reminds me that kids come out with ideas that we don't because we forget. We forget to think about cute things like this that would work. We forget to think with our innocent mind. We forget to think with our loving mind and a mind that isn't racing around with 1,000,001 things. We don't take time to sit and just enjoy and let our minds have the imagination of a child. And maybe that's what we need nowadays. A little more imagination, kindness, love, and standing up for what's true and what's real. And nowadays we need to help with kids. We need to make sure our kids are protected, watched over, and kept safe. So, it is my sincere wish that everyone have a blessed night. And if y'all got kids, hug your kids twice. Send them love and protection. And may the Ibeji keep all the children protected, happy, and playful. And again, if you have any questions on any of our products, mentorship sessions, divination sessions, because yeah, we can divine and see what's up with that too. Or troubleshooting sessions with me, or if you just want to get a question answered, you want to get together, let us know. Send us a message below. And next week, no, actually, yeah, it's next week that we'll be starting up classes. Doing my witchcraft classes where we learn how to fashion things with our hands for magical or spiritual tools. And then I'll be doing Seasonal Magic 1 and 2, where we talk about spring, the rites of spring, the magic of spring, the sorcery of spring, and the spirits of spring as well. So keep your eye out for that one. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful week filled with many blessings and fresh eyes. Enjoy. Take some time to play. Take some time to get creative. Take some time to let your intuition and creativity fly. Love the kid within. And be kind to yourself and to others. And know that if you have any questions, float us a note because that's all she wrote. I'm sending you always love, peace, and juju. And have a wonderful, wonderful week. We'll catch up with you soon. Peace and love.